You got 8 hours, and you still wake up tired. That's frustrating, and it's also common.
The key idea is simple. Sleep length is only one piece of the puzzle.
What matters just as much is sleep quality, timing, and what's interrupting your deeper stages. You can be in bed for 8 hours and still get less restorative sleep than someone who slept 6.5. Tonight, your brain is supposed to cycle through light sleep, deep sleep, and REM several times. If those cycles get chopped up, you wake up feeling like your battery never fully charged. And the tricky part is, you might not remember waking up at all. Micro-awakenings can happen dozens of times and still feel invisible. In this guide, we'll walk through the most common, realistic reasons this happens. You'll also get practical ways to test what's affecting you without guessing. Let's start with the biggest misunderstanding. Time asleep is not the same as recovery. Moving to slide 2. First reason, your sleep is fragmented. Fragmented sleep means you're technically asleep for many hours, but you keep popping into lighter sleep over and over. Common triggers include noise, pets moving, a partner shifting, temperature changes, or even subtle breathing issues. Each interruption can be short, just a few seconds, yet it can break the path into deep sleep. Deep sleep is the heavy, physical recovery stage where you tend to feel most restored. When fragmentation increases, your brain spends more time guarding the environment and less time fully powering down. You might notice you wake up with a dry mouth, you toss and turn, or you feel like you've been lightly sleeping all night. A simple test is to track patterns for a week: bedtime, wake time, and how often you remember waking. Also note room temperature and noise. The goal isn't perfection, it's reducing the number of disruptions so your cycles can run longer and deeper. Moving to slide 3. Second reason, you're waking up at the wrong point in your sleep cycle. Sleep isn't a straight line. It's more like waves. If your alarm catches you during deep sleep, you can feel groggy, heavy, and mentally slow. That feeling is called sleep inertia, and it can last from minutes to over an hour, depending on the person and the night. This is why two people can sleep the same 8 hours and feel totally different. A practical approach is to keep a consistent wake time and adjust bedtime in small steps, like 15 minutes earlier or later, until mornings feel smoother. Some people also do better with a slightly longer sleep window, like 8.5 hours, because it increases the chance you wake at a lighter stage. Another clue is how you feel on days without an alarm. If you wake naturally and feel better, timing is likely a big factor. The goal is to align wake-up with your biology, not just the clock. Moving to slide 4. Third reason, your circadian rhythm is misaligned. Your circadian rhythm is your internal 24-hour clock, and it controls when your body wants to be alert or sleepy. If you go to bed at a time that doesn't match your internal rhythm, you can spend 8 hours in bed, but get low-quality sleep. This often happens with irregular schedules, late-night bright light, or sleeping in on weekends and then forcing an early weekday wake-up. That pattern is sometimes called social jet lag because it feels like traveling across time zones every week. A strong anchor is morning light. Bright outdoor light soon after waking helps your brain set the clock earlier and improves nighttime sleep pressure. At night, the opposite helps: dimmer lighting and less intense screens close to bedtime. Also watch late naps. A long nap late in the day can steal sleep drive from the night. The goal is not strict rules, it's giving your body consistent signals about when day starts and when day ends. Moving to slide 5. Fourth reason, caffeine is still in your system when you think it's gone. Caffeine doesn't just keep you awake. It can also make sleep lighter, especially in the first half of the night. The tricky part is timing and sensitivity. Some people metabolize caffeine slowly, so an afternoon coffee can still affect bedtime. Even if you fall asleep fast, caffeine can reduce deep sleep and increase brief awakenings. Another hidden source is pre-workout powders, energy drinks, strong tea, and even some chocolate. A practical experiment is to set a caffeine cutoff and keep it consistent for a week. Then compare how you feel. If you want a gentler transition, shift the last caffeine earlier by 1 hour every few days. Also pay attention to stacking, where you have multiple smaller doses across the day. The goal isn't to demonize caffeine. It's to use it in a way that supports your sleep architecture instead of quietly disrupting it. Moving to slide 6. Fifth reason, your bedroom environment is quietly working against you. Two big factors are temperature and light. Many people sleep best in a slightly cool room because your core body temperature naturally drops at night.
If the room is too warm, you may wake more often and spend less time in deep sleep.
Light is the other major one. Even small amounts of light can signal daytime to your brain, especially in the early morning hours. That can push you into lighter sleep and make you wake earlier than planned. Noise matters too, but it's not only loud sounds, it's changes in sound, like a car passing or a heater switching on. The simplest approach is to treat your room like a recovery space. Cool, dark, and steady. If you can't control noise, consistent background sound can be less disruptive than random spikes. Small environmental tweaks often create outsized improvements because they reduce fragmentation. Moving to slide 7. Sixth reason, stress is keeping your brain on monitoring mode. You can be exhausted and still not get restorative sleep. Stress and anxiety increase arousal, meaning your nervous system stays more alert at night. Sometimes that looks like trouble falling asleep, but often it shows up as lighter sleep, vivid dreams, or waking up too early with your mind already running. One helpful concept is the wind-down buffer. If you go from intense work or scrolling straight into bed, your brain doesn't get a clean transition. Try building a short routine that signals safety and shutdown. Keep it simple: dim lights, a warm shower, gentle stretching, or writing down tomorrow's top 3 tasks so your brain doesn't rehearse them at 3 a.m. Breathing exercises can help too, not as magic, but as a way to lower physiological arousal. The goal is to reduce nighttime alertness so your deeper sleep stages can actually happen. Moving to slide 8. Seventh reason, you might have a breathing-related sleep issue, like snoring or sleep apnea. You don't need to be a certain body type for this to matter. What matters is whether your breathing becomes restricted during sleep. When that happens, your brain briefly wakes you up to reopen the airway. You may not remember it, but it can happen repeatedly and destroy sleep quality. Common clues include loud snoring, waking up gasping, morning headaches, dry mouth, or feeling sleepy despite enough time in bed. Another clue is needing lots of caffeine just to feel normal. If these signs fit, it's worth discussing with a clinician, because testing can clarify what's going on. Also note nasal congestion. Even temporary blockage can increase mouth breathing and snoring. The big takeaway is that breathing stability is a foundation for deep sleep. If your oxygen and airflow are inconsistent, your brain prioritizes survival over restoration. Moving to slide 9. Eighth reason, blood sugar swings and heavy late meals can disturb your night. Your body does a lot of regulation while you sleep. If you eat a very large meal right before bed, digestion can keep your system more active. Some people also wake up when blood sugar drops overnight, especially if dinner was very high in refined carbs or if the day's eating pattern was irregular. That can look like waking at the same time every night, feeling restless, or having intense dreams. On the other side, going to bed overly hungry can also keep you in lighter sleep. The practical takeaway is consistency. Aim for a balanced evening meal with protein, fiber, and slow-digesting carbs, and give yourself a bit of time before lying down. Hydration matters too, but not so much that you're waking for the bathroom. If you suspect blood sugar issues, it's a good topic to bring to a healthcare professional, because patterns and context matter. Your sleep is often a reflection of how stable your body feels overnight. Moving to slide 10. Ninth reason, you're not getting enough daylight and movement during the day. Sleep is not only a night behavior, it's a 24-hour system. Daylight exposure helps set your circadian rhythm, and physical activity builds sleep pressure, the natural drive that makes you sleepy at night. If you spend most of the day indoors under dim light, your brain may not get a strong daytime signal. That can delay melatonin timing and make sleep feel lighter. Movement matters in a similar way. You don't need extreme workouts. Consistent walking, strength training, or even short activity breaks can improve sleep depth for many people. The catch is timing. Very intense exercise too close to bedtime can keep some people more alert,
though others tolerate it fine. The practical approach is simple. Get bright outdoor light early, and add regular movement earlier in the day. When your days are more biologically day-like, your nights tend to become more biologically night-like. Moving to slide 11. 10th reason. Your sleep schedule is inconsistent. Even if the total hours look good, your body likes rhythm. If bedtime and wake time shift by 1 or 2 hours across the week, your internal clock struggles to predict when sleep should happen. You might fall asleep, but the quality can suffer, and mornings can feel rough. Many people try to catch up on weekends, but that can push the clock later, making Sunday night harder and Monday morning brutal. A more effective strategy is to keep wake time fairly stable and adjust bedtime instead. If you need extra sleep, add it by going to bed earlier for a few nights, not by sleeping far later. Another tool is a short nap earlier in the day if it doesn't interfere with bedtime. Consistency isn't about being strict. It's about making your sleep more predictable, so your hormones, temperature rhythm, and alertness systems can coordinate better. Moving to slide 12. 11th reason. You may be spending too much time in bed awake. This is a common trap when you're tired. You go to bed earlier, sleep in later, or lie there hoping more time will fix it. But your brain learns associations. If your bed becomes a place where you worry, scroll, or half sleep for long periods, sleep can become lighter and more fragmented. Sleep researchers often talk about sleep efficiency, how much of your time in bed is actually spent asleep. If you're in bed 9 hours, but only sleeping 7.5, you can still feel exhausted. A practical fix is tightening your sleep window for a while, so your body rebuilds stronger sleep pressure. Keep the bed for sleep and intimacy, and do wind down outside the bed if possible. If you can't fall asleep after a while, a calm reset, dim light, quiet activity can be better than fighting the pillow. The goal is to make sleep more automatic again. Moving to slide 13. 12th reason. An underlying health issue can show up as non-restorative sleep. This doesn't mean something is seriously wrong, but it does mean sleep can be a useful signal. Conditions like anemia, thyroid imbalance, chronic pain, reflux, allergies, depression, and some nutrient deficiencies can all affect sleep quality or daytime energy. Some people also have restless leg symptoms, where the urge to move the legs disrupts sleep without fully waking them. The pattern to watch is persistence. If you've improved the basics, schedule, light, caffeine timing, bedroom setup, and you're still consistently exhausted, it's reasonable to get checked. Bring specifics, how long it's been happening, whether you snore, morning headaches, naps, and how your energy changes across the day. Data beats vague descriptions. The goal is not self-diagnosis. It's knowing when fatigue is more than bad sleep hygiene and deserves a professional look. Better answers often start with better observations. Moving to slide 14. Let's turn this into a simple plan you can actually use. Start with the highest impact, lowest effort levers: consistent wake time, morning light, and a cooler, darker room. Next, run one experiment at a time for 7 days, like moving caffeine earlier, tightening your sleep window, or changing late eating habits. Keep notes on 2 things only: how you feel 1 hour after waking, and how sleepy you feel mid-afternoon. That gives you a clean signal without over-tracking. If you suspect breathing issues, don't try to brute force it with hacks. Get it assessed. And remember, the goal isn't to chase a perfect 8 hours. It's to wake up with steady energy and a clear head. If you want, leave a comment with your biggest issue: A, falling asleep, or B, staying asleep. And if you found this useful, subscribe for more calm, practical guides on sleep and energy. This information is not a substitute for medical advice. Train the body. Upgrade the brain. Extend the future.